God is still saying something. During a live Saturday service at the Synagogue Church of All Nations on March 15th, 2014, Prophet T.B. Joshua revealed a prophetic message regarding the missing Malaysian plane. These were his words.
There's a big controversy going on in the world concerning Malaysia plane. They don't know where the plane is. Long time I said that you look down the deep sea. I think they are going to the deep sea trying to see. What sea? They did not ask which kind of sea are we talking about. Yes, there is a controversy everywhere. I said deep sea, long time. Yes, between the sea of Indonesia and the Indian Ocean. Why I say between? Because the particle has gone swimming everywhere. It entered and it was seized by object down sea. There is no way the thing could come up the sea until the thing becoming decay. When it becomes decay and becoming particles, little body come on the sea. But the whole thing is coming to an end. Coming to an end in the sense that they will discover the particle, everything will be end.
During the following live Sunday service at the Synagogue Church of All Nations on March 23rd, 2014, Prophet T.B. Joshua prophesied further regarding the missing Malaysian plane. These were his words.
Last Saturday here I was telling you about the challenges the world are facing in Malaysia. Saturday here I said they should look into Indian Ocean. The thing I saw was floating on the sea, which is hand of the plane. But you don't believe, you believe witch doctor more than even when the servant of God is talking. When something is on the water floating, can you imagine this thing also in a day can travel another miles if you are not going there to pick the thing? And which is very close, but the whole thing is between Indian Ocean and Indonesia. But the war are continuing to parading, roaming about. What does it take the war? If somebody says something is in the Indian Ocean stroke Indonesia, what does it take? If a telephone call, email, can you tell the location where? Or enter the plane, let us go there. On the air, you can say, go down here. It doesn't take anything. I mean, what? If somebody is talking and you don't understand the person, who is the person? Go look at the antecedent of the person, the track record of the person on the web. Oh, who is this T.B. Joshua? You will see right from the beginning of my ministry, it's a gift of God. Both local, international, right from 25 years now. Well, thank God they are on that Indian Ocean. Is there. The whole thing is dragging. The thing I saw was floating on the sea, which is hand of the plane.
On April 12, 2014, during a live Saturday service at the Synagogue Church of All Nations, Prophet T.B. Joshua prophesied yet again regarding the missing Malaysian plane. These were his words.
Remember what I said last time about this Malaysia issue? And I said, Indian Ocean, deep. I can still see some, but they refuse to go there. For every hour in the Indian Ocean, the ocean is, you know, the weather is very bad. If something is on top, and you are not going there in an hour, you'll find it in 40 miles again. The whole thing is inside the deep. It's like something had the whole thing deep. But last time when I said, yes, you will see some this thing on the top, but people, they don't take it. I'm still saying it. If you cannot go deep, go to the choice. You see some of the facts, evidence, bags, luggage. When you open it, you just see some ID card to confirm that these people were inside that plane. Go to the choice. It has gone to the choice now where he cannot move any longer. Choice means edge, but T forehead, bush side, but towards West Indian Ocean. The whole thing is deep sea, but some little particle of it, pieces of it, have escaped like bag luggage. We pray for the loved one that this concerns, because their wound is our wound. Every day we pray for the family, we pray for the friend, we pray for the nation Malaysia, we pray for the whole world. So it's a gift of God. There's nothing I can do. If you are in my position to, when you see something, you have to say it. If you don't say it, the gift will remain dormant. Even if God sends you, this is what is going to happen, and you are not saying it, He will not send you next time. That is just it.
All right, breaking news, a major development in the search for the missing Malaysia Airlines flight MH370. A piece of debris recovered on an island in the western Indian Ocean, thousands of miles from the search zone. It does appear to be from a Boeing 777. CNN's Tom Foreman has more now on how officials can figure out if it is in fact from the missing Malaysian jet.
This piece of debris is about 7 feet long, maybe 3 or 4 feet wide, and we're now told it is consistent with what you would find on a 777 made by Boeing. So let's bring up a model of the missing plane and talk about where you would find it on the plane. Our aviation analysts say it would likely be on the back side of the left wing, right in here, a controlling flaperon, as they call it. So it meets the first part of the test for a match. It is the right type of piece to find. It's also the right color, and it's in the right condition. It has barnacles all over it. That's consistent with something that's been in the water for 500 days, roughly. Now you have to check out the identifiers, the serial numbers on this piece. Almost every part of a big aircraft like this has serial numbers on it, like this seat cushion from a different plane. If they find the serial number on this other part, this thing they've just found, and it matches the Malaysia Air flight, then that's a deal. They will know, they absolutely have evidence of what happened to that plane.
It's been more than a year since Malaysia Airlines Flight 370 disappeared with 239 people on board. But for their families, the anguish is renewed every day. No clues as to what happened or why. A desperate search turning up nothing to provide hope or closure. Until now. Here's ABC's Jim Avila.
A critical discovery in the search for answers to the mystery of what happened to Malaysia Airlines Flight 370. This broken bit of airplane wreckage, more than 6 feet long, washed up on the French island of Reunion in the Indian Ocean. A first step toward closure for the families who've had no real answers until now. It appears to be the very first physical clue found 16 months after the Boeing 777 carrying 239 people vanished into thin air.
This sort of goes to the science of what happens when airplanes hit water. Sometimes they just explode into millions of little pieces. Sometimes they break up into big pieces and they float.
This part could be key in piecing together how the plane went down. A reliable U.S. government source tells ABC News Boeing engineers have seen the number 657BB on the debris, and it matches a 777. And MH370 is the only 777 missing in the world. This part is called a flaperon. It helps the plane turn and is also used to slow the plane down for landing. Experts say it looks like MH370 may not have been in a steep dive when it disappeared.
What can you tell from the condition of the part that was found?
The leading edge of it is not crushed in. The leading edge looks pristine, more or less, and the trailing edge is gone. What I don't see is a severe nose-down impact.
It must have landed in water at slow speed, because if it had hit at very high speed, this flaperon would have been just a ball of metal, and it would have never floated, and it would have sunk right to the bottom of the ocean.
Even though the debris was found more than 3,500 miles from where Australia continues to lead the search for clues, it is possible, say experts, that plane debris would float all that way.
So if you look at how long it would take something that started about here to drift, given the speeds of the currents, and end up in Reunion, it's about the right time frame.
Hours after discovering the plane part, searchers stumbled upon what looks to be a tattered suitcase on the very same beach. It was more than a year ago when the Malaysian Airlines flight took off from Kuala Lumpur, bound for Beijing, but it disappeared from radar screens less than an hour later. The last communication with the plane when the Boeing 777 flew over the South China Sea. The final words from the cockpit, "Good night, Malaysian 370." The hope is this new discovery could lead investigators to pinpoint the actual location where the plane went down, and ultimately that black box.
It actually could. We're talking a huge area narrowed down to a slightly smaller huge area, but still, it could be helpful.
So the bottom line is, a piece of wing on Reunion Island, it's very hard to trace back to exactly where it crashed.
If you mean exactly within, 10 miles, even 100 miles, you're right. But to say it generally came from the Eastern Indian Ocean, I think that is definitely possible. There's lots of pieces of information that when you layer them together start to really tell a story that's compelling.
Marine biologists will take a hard look at the sea life attached to this wing part, from the age and type of barnacles to the microorganisms, for clues.
It may be able to identify specific species that have been growing and identify those are they warm water or cold water.
Police in Reunion loaded the wing flap into a van and strapped it down for its next journey to France, where investigators will begin the CSI process, where they hope to confirm their initial findings.
Then start looking at all the fracture surfaces, where the hinges were attached to this piece, how they are ripped off, what direction, what angle, what happened.
The one piece will not answer all the questions, but experts say it does seem to support U.S. intelligence assessments that someone was alive in the cockpit and deliberately crashed this plane. It also gives families of the 239 who died on board their first solid evidence of what may have happened to their loved ones. For Nightline, I'm Jim Avila in Washington.
Broadcasting around the world on the World Wide Web, this is
Solving Classic Media,
your #1 internet
number one station, going full throttle with non-stop hits.
Broadcasting around the world on the World Wide Web, this is
Solving Classic Media,
your #1 internet
number one station, going full throttle with non-stop hits.